Our goal was to really stress ourselves in a much more compressed time frame than we're used to working with. And the thing that was unique was we practiced what's called an alpha alert. So that's from the time that you're told that you have a task, you have 1 hour from the time that you're notified to do everything and then be like the aircraft launch within an hour. So in that hour we did our crew brief, which is where we go over our assignments for the day. We brief on what we know about the day, transport to the aircraft, and then configure, so have it set up ready to be safe for flight. After that, we flew like a local 10-minute sortie, and that simulated flying into a location. So once we landed, that was where the ramp came down, and we saw how many people we were going to have, how much we were going to work with, and then we worked on that aspect of the mission of safely loading them and taking off a second time.
We ended up practicing a contingency environment mission to where we got alerted. Within an hour of alert, we were able to launch, go to an austere environment, and then pick up patients. We gathered up the crew. The day before, we prepared everything we need in preparation for the flight the next day, knowing that we only have an hour to launch. Just waited for the alert, see what the mission entailed, and then went from there, safely, of course.
So the standard AE crew consists of 5, so there's 3 enlisted and then 2 officers. The 2 officers are nurses. MCD, the medical crew director, they're ultimately responsible for all patient care, and they're effectively the OIC of the mission. They're assisted with a second flight nurse who's also equally qualified, and their job is more patient care. And then when you move into the enlisted side, there's med techs. The lead enlisted person is called the charge, the charge med tech. They're responsible for the aircraft on the ground, making sure the plane's configured, set up, able to safely receive patients, all the systems are working for our medical equipment. And then you're responsible for the loading. You're assisted by the second AET, who is just extra help, who's kind of like the assistant to the charge. And then we have a third medical tech who's responsible for baggage, anti-hijacking the patients, making sure that they're fed, and then just catching whatever other tasking seems to pop up. Enlisted and officers, we work together really, really closely, and it takes all of us working together to actually get the mission done safely.
It's organized chaos. From the outside looking in, it looks like it's very fast, a lot going on, but everything comes from preparation. So we prep, we talked about what everybody's going to do, so as soon as we got to the plane, everything's just working well, and it looks like a lot going on all at once, but everybody knows their role, and safely get the patients out of there.
I would say the benefit from working with different squadrons, different wings, different MAGCOMs, the active duty versus the reserve component is, even though all of our days are different, at the end of the day, whenever there's a tasking, we all come together, and all of our experiences just build into something really great.
It starts from having a good understanding on what somebody's role is, start from there, and then once you meet that entity, just explain to them what you need from them, what they can get from you, and then go from there, depending on the mission.
The active duty, they have just this consistency of, every day what they do, and then the benefit that the reserves bring is all of our civilian experience is also really helpful, especially in the medical, community and what we do in AE. We've been really lucky to, having met them and flown with them a time or two to kind of, feel each other out, kind of see what training they need, the training we need, and see where we can meet in the middle. Very, very nice to work with, incredible people, a lot of talent, so we really appreciated them letting us hang out with them for a day, and hoping to build on this and maybe make it something that we can just continue to grow and keep seeing where our limits are. We haven't found them yet, so we gotta keep going until we find it.
It's good to show what our capabilities are. I know it discourages some people that we don't have planes anymore, but we're still here. We're still training hard, and we still have a good footprint here in the 908.